We love to celebrate Palm Sunday. We love to see our kids, our sons and daughters, walk down the aisle waving the palms. Woohoo! We have live animals in the church sometimes. It's wonderful. It's exciting. And we love to celebrate Easter. We get chocolate. There's bunnies. The kids do the Easter egg hunt. And of course, we proclaim this wonderful news that the tomb is empty, that Christ is risen. But we don't understand the full message of resurrection, of new life, if we don't first ponder and immerse ourselves in the story of death, of the sacrifice that Christ has made. That we are a people of resurrection, but also a people called to sacrifice. 5 years ago, I prayed for God to guide me, to tell me, what am I called to do with my life to serve you in your kingdom? And because God is faithful, and because God keeps covenant, God introduced me to some homeless folks. And so for 5 years, I've been doing homeless outreach and homeless ministry. And what my homeless neighbors have taught me with their patience and their stories is that the solution to homelessness is housing. It's a little funny to hear, but we acknowledge that. What we have in Dallas is a lack of housing. You've read about this tent city under I-45 and seen it on the news. I'm part of an engagement team that works to get people their documents, their birth certificates, their social security cards, make sure any Class C charges are cleared up in the South Dallas Drug Court. And that's all wonderful and necessary, but we run into the same wall. There is no housing for the homeless in Dallas. And when you read these news reports about Tent City, knowing that it's going to be closed in early May, you read the comment sections. What the reporters asked is the same question. Where are these people going to go? It's time to stop asking that question. And it's time to start making a statement. They are welcome here. We love Palm Sunday because Jesus enters into the midst of our communities. What we forget between then and Easter is that Jesus immediately went to the temple and said, "You have turned my Father's house into a den of robbers." Jesus kicked over some tables. Jesus immediately challenged our unjust institutions, and that made the mob go from welcome to crucify him. And when we say, not in my neighborhood, we want housing for the homeless, but not here. When we say the poor deserve their lot because of their sin, when we say those on death row deserve it, what we are saying is crucify him. We are very lucky to have a couple of more days in the season of Lent. A couple of more days to repent before we celebrate the good news of the resurrection. Is the church in Dallas, are we here going to start proclaiming a message of we need more housing, we need to build it, we need to pay for it, we need to make that sacrifice of our tax dollars, of our time, of our strength, and it needs to be in our neighborhood. We believe in a transformed world. Let's start by building housing, treatment centers, rehab centers, next door to our churches, next door to our homes. That's going to make some people mad. Are we willing to sacrifice our property values for the sake of the kingdom? Are we willing to have neighbors move in next door who don't look like us, who don't act like us, who have different struggles and say, you're broken, I'm broken, let's be healed together? This is a day when we're called to remember the sacrifice, when we're called to be a sacrificial people. So that it's Sunday, when we get up and get all excited in our new clothes for Easter, and we see the empty tomb, and encounter the risen Christ, we are told by Christ to go forth and proclaim the good news. We know what that good news is. Treatment for the addict, housing for the homeless, community for those of us in our midst who are marginalized. Let's be ready to proclaim, yes, Lord, I will proclaim the good news. Amen.
Amen. I want to thank all of you again for coming. My name is Kim Batchelor. I coordinate the Dallas Area Christian Progressive Alliance. I hope that you are, if you are called to connect with us, that we have a monthly newsletter and other notices of justice-related issues that we and justice-related events that we are part of. And all you have to do is go to Dallas Christians, that's with an S.org, and we have a sign-in sheet there. You can always leave the list anytime you want, but that's the way we'd like to be connected with you if you feel so called. So thank you all very much, and we hope to see you next year. This will be the 12th year of our Good Friday Walk. Thank you so much.